So two things before I start. I know I'm between you and lunch. And the second thing, I just wanted to mention that Saul and I connected through Twitter. I didn't know anything about this organization or about what he was doing except through that media, which is kind of interesting. Context, I'm going to tell you a story, but only half a story, because the story's not over yet. We've just started down this path. Context, NASA Langley is actually 92 years old. We are a technology organization that develops technology that's then used throughout the rest of NASA. 92 is old. And we're a government organization, 92 years old. That's old. So we've developed a lot of stuff, a lot of bureaucracy, a lot of, and we're part of, we have to listen to OPM and OMB and a lot of other O's in order to get our job done. So there's a lot of stuff that we have to deal with. The other context is I'm actually going to tell you about an organization within NASA Langley, the Strategic Relationships Office, that was actually brought together from a bunch of different organizations to save money. We were said, hey, go and do an amazing job, and by the way, cut your people 20% and cut the amount of dollars you have 20%. And then, oh, by the way, we also want to give you an initial mission. We want you to help the rest of Langley be more innovative. So we had to think differently about how in the world we could possibly do that. We stole a lot of ideas. Two companies I want to mention, W.L. Gore Company. If you hadn't learned about them, you ought to. Gore Tech, you know the material, but the company is amazing. And Semco down in Brazil, another amazing company. We stole a lot of ideas from them. This is our org chart for the organization. Imagine getting this through a bureaucracy, right? It doesn't look anything like a normal org chart, and we had to fight some battles to get there. Let me just tell you a little bit about this. On the outside are what we call our points of contact. Those are in place so that the rest of the organization looks at us and we look normal, okay? It gives them a way to look at us and say, okay, I know what communications is, I know what education is, et cetera, et cetera. But part of the way we actually do business, we have kind of two strategies. One is the Tom Sawyer strategy, which is to get everybody else to do the work that we're supposed to do. And this is, and the way this is done is through networking, okay? All of the clouds, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, are networked out to the rest of the organization and convincing them that what they're doing is the most exciting and amazing stuff in the world, such that they start doing it. And they start volunteering to do our work. Or frankly, to do the work of the center, the work that we all need to do is really the message that we put out. So the Tom Sawyer strategy, and then also the infection strategy. Okay, once we get these networks together with people from around the rest of the organization, we irritate them to think about new ways of doing things. And what happens is that then infects them to actually start doing that in their organizations themselves. So the Tom Sawyer strategy, the infection strategy, both of those are key to us doing more mission with actually less money and less people. The thing I really wanted to talk about actually was the stuff in the middle, what we call cloud leadership, for lack of a better term. Again, at Gore, they call this lattice management. But it really is about the people in there being given the freedom to do what their passion is. So what we've told the folks inside, well, first of all of these POCs on the outside, they don't have any people to do their job. In fact, what they have is all the people inside the organization to get their job done. And this is very different from the way we normally do business. Here's the 15 people that you work on to get communications or education done. I'm telling them, no, this is an organization of about 100 people, about half contractors, half civil servants. I'm saying for each of these tasks, you actually have all 100 people. What you've got to do is actually get them to volunteer to work on your stuff. So all of those people, we tell them, you can do whatever you want. You decide whether you want to work on communications, or whether you want to work on strategy management, whatever piece of that puzzle you want to do. We don't have any bosses in the organization. We don't have any rules in the organization. Now, that's a funny thing to say, and I get in trouble every time I say that. Within the government, you don't have any rules. Of course, there are laws, right? But the policies and procedures that have been built up over 92 years of bureaucracy are immense. And so I've just told all my folks to ignore them. And so part of what my job is to take arrows, right? I mean, I take arrows for all these folks for all the stuff where they ignore the rules and policies and get in trouble. So no bosses, no rules. We work by forgiveness rather than permission. That's a big deal with me. Making sure that people actually go out there on the limb and try things and get in trouble, and then we protect them and surround them. We are 1 year into this experiment. We're seeing amazing changes in just the morale of the people that are involved in this, and the folks that are actually trying to do this job are just so excited because, frankly, they're able to work on what they're passionate about and not about what they were hired for or what their position description says. One of the issues we are trying to figure out how to deal with is the contractors, because we hired a contractor to do this, and now we're saying, well, don't do that, do this if you really want to. And that becomes really challenging in a contractual environment. But actually what we've done is gone to the contractors and said, hey, we want your folks to work 80% of the time on this stuff, and then 20% of the time let them do whatever they want. And what we're finding is people are finding that 20% over here in something else entirely different, and then we just changed the task that we gave them. We said, okay, now 80% of the time we want you to work on that because that's what you're passionate in. And it works just as well for contractors as it does for the civil servants that we have. Okay, I think I'm probably out of time. Again, this is an experiment. We're trying. We're moving forward. We don't know what we're doing. We're learning from a lot of other people. We would love to have more input and ideas as to how to do this better and figure out where we're going.
So I have to first dedicate this first question to my friend Alan, who has Tourette's syndrome for quoting movie dialogue. You're at NASA, right?
Right.
How many times do you walk around a day saying, A, I screwed the pooch, or B, failure is not an option?
Yeah, too often.
All right, very good. There you go. What is the set? A little. I tried. I guess I screwed the pooch. That one. What is the sense of urgency system-wide inside NASA today in terms of how? And I'm not asking this with my own agenda, but with or without how dramatically the mindset, the methods of operation.
I think it goes right back to the way you introduced me in the beginning. I think all of us as Americans have this great historical remembrance of NASA. But I think lately we've all gotten kind of, so what are they doing lately? What are they doing now? What's really going on? They're not as cool as they used to be. So I think that's part of it. And it's because of this immense bureaucracy that we're working under. And frankly, all the amazing lessons that we've learned over the years are killing us. Right? We've learned how to do things great and right and perfect and amazing, and those are killing us right now when we need to be innovative and we need to look at new ways of doing things. And so the part of this organization is to get people to think differently about the problems that we have and the opportunities. Because we want to be cool. We want to be amazing. We think it's important for America to have an organization that actually pushes those boundaries, and we need to be that.
Heck of an answer. Richard Antcliff from NASA.